Some bunnies with a bazooka dunk.
Way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Mama, there goes that man.
Welcome to A Tribe Called Swish. As always, we have Jay Money and Kev from Ohio running the three-man weave. And also, as always, we're brought to you by Southern Edge Beverage Company. Like, subscribe, share. Don't be the hater your whole life. Yo, look for the discount code in the description. Leave a comment and you might get picked for a Southern Edge package, but more on that later. How are we feeling today, fellas?
Oh, feeling good. You can tell that the season has changed. It's a little cold out here in Beaumont.
I'm feeling good, looking good. You know, I hate the cold, so I'm gonna go back to South Carolina.
Yo, it's getting kind of chilly here, man. It's not up north cold, but cold for us. So look, we are 1 month in this week. So it's been an interesting season so far. What have we learned? Like, what do we know so far? Like, because it was all over the place, and I think now the team's starting to kind of settle in. So what have we learned so far 1 month in?
You know what? I think the only thing that's really crystal clear is that the champs are still in good form, and they're still missing pieces. I think everyone else is kind of showing us either injuries is taking a toll, maybe they're underachieving, maybe they're overachieving, and it's kind of like the East still feels wide open with Boston being depleted a bit, and the West is just going to be competitive. But that's what I'm seeing thus far.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Kev, honestly. I would say the biggest surprise for me so far this season is how well the Lakers have been doing without LeBron. I thought it was going to be real shaky because the amount of impact he has on that team, but it raises a question of, like, is LeBron as impactful now than he used to be? And is it just time to move on from him, and should he just retire? Another thing is the Rockets are coming into their identity. OKC always, no surprises there. Also, I think the other surprise for me is how well the Spurs are also doing now that their chemistry, and I know I had my concerns about De'Aaron Fox coming back into the lineup, and the Sixers as well. I thought they were going to be a little bit, through the floor with their ability and their chemistry. Now that PG played back today, but they looked pretty good. But yeah, those are what I've learned so far today. But yeah, that's how I feel about the league so far.
Yeah, I think my biggest surprise is Detroit being this hot out of the gate, 11-2, and that's like, I knew they were going to be good, right? And I knew that they were going to be a solid team, and I never doubted them. But coming out the gate this hot, I was not expecting that. I mean, they are like one of the best teams in the whole league right now. They're playing solid defense. Cade is being Cade, and that team just really seems to be hitting their stride. And out west, I think Denver, for some reason, has surprised me because I wasn't sure what this team was going to be this year. Like, I know they brought back Bruce Brown, they brought in some pieces, but I thought it would take them a longer time to hit their stride. But it looks like while everybody else is figuring things out, Jokic is just like, listen, just get on my back. We'll figure things out on the go. And that's kind of been like what they've done. Probably my biggest disappointment, I'm going to still go with Memphis. Going into this season, I've been a believer in Ja. I'm like, this team, if Ja's there, this team can do it. I know they lost Desmond Bane, they got a new coach and everything, but I figured with Ja being the star of that team, he was behind that coaching chain, so this is the guy he wants, and it doesn't look like that this marriage is going to last very much longer. And I'm just disappointed in how bad that Memphis team is. And now Ja's out; he's going to be out. He's going to be out for a while, so that Grizzlies team is going to be ugly for a bit because they don't. Before, when Ja would go out, like a few years ago, they would be as good, if not better, sometimes with him in the lineup. But now, this team is just you just don't know what you're getting this team from night to night.
Yeah. What's the guard's name? Tyus Jones.
Yep.
To your point, when Ja would be out, he would step right in and he could facilitate. And now they're still without Scottie Pippen Jr. He doesn't return until January. But I think it's just interesting, what'll happen with that Memphis team. I just think they'll just be at the bottom, almost probably where they belong until they make some roster changes. But yeah, both you guys kind of hit on some good points, and I think it all leads back to trade deadline, and before that, like what happens? And I know it's really early now, but we're gonna see some roster moves because there's so much parity.
Yeah, I haven't been too surprised with Memphis. Honestly, I knew the second that they traded away Desmond Bain, I knew it was going to be downhill from there. And then how they treated Ja at the beginning of the season, it's still the beginning of the season, but how they treated Ja earlier, I mean, it. I think just that's their franchise player. I know they have high expectations, as they should, right? Like, that's your guy, that's the face of your team. But I think the other sign of their downfall was firing Taylor Jenkins in like towards their playoff run last year. So Memphis, yeah, I had no hopes for them this season at all.
All right. So, are there any teams that surprised you, good or bad? Like I'll start. Phoenix has surprised me. Like I didn't think that they would have won. I think they won like 6 games so far. Did not think that they would get their 6th win until probably December, because I had no hopes for this team. I just thought, we talked earlier. I said this is going to be that that Kobe year when he scored 81. That Devin Booker's going to do that. Oh, he's just going to score. But they're a playing team right now, which I didn't see. So that they've been my biggest surprise. That they have somehow figured out to be competitive. Now, again, we're early, and normally, things kind of flatten out. But for them just to be a playing team at this point, I didn't see that coming at all.
To Jay's point earlier, I think that big surprise is that Laker team. Now, certainly they are winning games, and I get that. It's not playoff basketball. I mean, let's not be enamored with what Luka's doing, because Luka will fade as well. Again, we talked about AR-15, his production going down with certain matchups on him. So I think they're playing well. I think there's been some surprises, but also look to see who they played. They're not beating Titans. When they played good teams like OKC, it was over in the second quarter. So they are a good team and they got good pieces, but who you play is important.
So the team that surprised me was the Wizards. Now they're 1-12. They'll always be trash post John Wall era and Bradley Beal. Wow. But seeing them play doesn't always match what their record shows. They are another team that is greasy, like the Nets, because they got Michael Porter Jr. over there too, and he had a career high in 7 assists. Mr. Never Swing the Ball. So the Wizards and the Nets are supreme. That surprises me. I know it doesn't surprise B more for the Nets as well, because he's always said that the Nets are a gritty team. They'll their record doesn't always show their effort too, but they're good. I just hope both teams, both the Wizards and the Nets, find their groove. They may need one, or I think each team needs an extra piece or so, and then they'll start becoming contenders in the next 2 or 3 years.
And I think that just shows how competitive the NBA is, because when you watch those teams play, they are not as bad as their record.
Yeah.
Like listen, we've all watched the NBA for a long time, so we've seen like bad teams. When these teams are 1-12, a lot of times you turn them on, they look 1-12. But the Wizards and the Nets, I agree with you, they don't look bad. Like they don't, trust me, they're not great by any means. Yeah. But when you see them actually play and play against competitive teams, like the good teams, they're giving them their all. And then, as always, talent kind of takes over, and they just don't have enough guys. But they are maximizing what they have, and the Wizards especially, they have some good young talent.
Yeah. That also kind of shows too, like, and maybe we should start watching them more often. I think that also helps too, and market those teams as well. I think small markets also have like hidden gems, and I'm a big fan of underdogs. And so I feel like, like I said before, like in the next 2 or 3 years, those teams will be contenders once they add an extra couple pieces. Maybe DiBiase from BYU might go to one of those teams. You never know.
Ooh, he's tough. He looks tough.
He's a bucket for sure.
So
he is.
So that's a good topic, because I want us to talk about them, but I wasn't sure we would have time for that. So I watched them play, and I'm not quite sold on him yet. I need to see him against some real competition. I watched him when they played Delaware, and he didn't jump off the page. He didn't jump off the screen like that. And I have to keep in mind, like, this is a different era, and so how they play sometimes does not kind of translate, at least at the college level. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I I vividly remember the first time I saw Allen Iverson playing at Georgetown, right, on
Mm-hmm.
TV. I vividly remember that because he just seemed better than everybody else,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I didn't see that with him. And I just know college coaches now have way, for some reason, even with NIL, they have way more
Mm-hmm.
control in how they run their teams. But
Yeah.
he just doesn't. He hasn't popped. I've seen his highlights, his mixtapes. He looks super athletic. He looks amazing. But when I watched him against a lower level team, you're used to seeing those type of players just like go crazy. And he did.
Yeah.
And he finished like 16 points. And so it's like it didn't jump off. But I'm gonna keep following him. But I'm gonna tell you who is that Boozer kid at Duke.
Yeah.
That Boozer kid jumps off the screen. Like, he is showing, like, hey, look, I'm probably gonna be better than my dad.
You pronounce his name Debonce? How you pronounce his name?
I gotta look it up again.
Debonce? I didn't want to.
Devontae,
I didn't want to
I
butcher
was
it.
practicing it for a while, and I was like, "Was he saying
Right.
that?"
But you know what? I like the dog in him. I saw in the interview he was talking about, hey, I remember when this person said this. I remember when this person said this. I remember playing with this guy at the All American game, and he didn't pass me the ball. I kind of like that. You know, I like that. Hopefully, it's just not him studying shock value type things. But
right?
I do like what I see from him. And to your point, be more put some more athletic wings on him to see how he kind of gets off. You know, but I feel like off the dribble, he's there. It's funny when you look at Kyan Anthony, he reminds you so much of Melo, and we're
He does.
drawn to that because the game just looks smoother. And this guy reminds you more of like a Kawhi Leonard, where it may not look smooth and seamless, but how effective is it? You know, and I think there's something there, but I think come tournament time, we'll really see what he got.
I think
Uh,
Cam Newton said something that was really key about the difference between like Cayenne and these other guys.
Mhm.
Cayenne was outside. Cayenne played with regular kids and he played
Mhm.
outside. So he got a
Mhm.
chance to really kind of like really hone his game differently
Sure,
than these kids that all they do is just train in AAU. So I
sure,
think that's why his game looks different. I think that's a part of it. I mean, because look, he's Carmelo Anthony's son. He's going to have crazy
right.
advantages, right? But Carmelo somehow was able to kind of keep him outside with the regular kids and ball with them and not just
Mhm.
AAU tournament over and over again. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead, J Mine. What were you going to say?
So I keep in mind of like when we're talking about these star players, like Debonsa, by the way, AJ Debonsa.
Nonsense. Okay.
Got him.
He's a freshman, so like I don't think he'll be leaving for the league anytime soon. But I
Oh, he
do
will.
like it. Yeah, he's got game. I think that's why I'm not surprised. Like his stats, I think he dropped 25 also the other day against another, I think a
Yep,
pretty
he
tough
did.
team too. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I like where he's going. He's only a kid, honestly, and I think that sometimes we forget like these age, where the year where these kids are at. We're expecting the next Michael Jordan pop up in the league, and he's a freshman. So I think he still has time to develop his game. I think right now, also the reason a lot of these players' stats don't jump off the page is also because they did that pre-college. Now these college teams are focused more on team ball and ball
Mhm.
movement. Can you move the ball too? Yes, you can
Mhm.
drop 30 at any time. You did that in
Mhm.
high school, which is why we recruited you. But now, can you play team ball? Can you pass the ball? Can you rebound? Can you do
Yeah.
more defense? Because that's what these college teams are now expecting of these players.
But you know that's a good point, and I know that this wasn't even on our sheet, but I'm kind of glad we got here. Isn't that kind of a problem with college basketball though? Isn't that kind of why it's kind of boring? Is because they don't let their star players cook that way? That they're so system oriented, and so you don't get to see him really be creative and really kind of take over a game because they want you to run the sets, do it, and so you don't get a chance to have a star be a star.
Yeah, sometimes I don't disagree with that, but also the school makes a difference too.
Mhm.
If you're gonna be at Duke, you're gonna be at Carolina, you're gonna be at
Mhm.
Syracuse, you're gonna be some of these most notable schools. A lot of times they will come with more notoriety. But to your point, the college atmosphere is all about togetherness and just students rushing on the field or storming the court. So it's not. I don't want to necessarily be showcased like the NBA because it's not the NBA. I still want to be in and excited about March Madness, you know. And so I get it. At this point in time, we're already dealing with NIL deals and things like that. So I think if you allow players to be showcased too much to be NBA like, it takes away from it.
Yeah. I don't know if it makes it more boring. I think honestly it matures the player a lot more because in high school it's going to be all about that one player on that particular team. And so I think it makes it much more interesting. I think it's a good culture shock as well because if I'm recruiting Kev and he's a 5-star athlete out of high school and I'm like, hey, cool, come to Duke. All right, you know what you're gonna get there. And then Kev's like, cool, bet I'm committed to Duke. Cool. When you come here, you're gonna learn team ball. I got the Boozer brothers. I got another guy that's really good at the 5. Kev, you played a 3, so it's gonna be share the ball time, and it's gonna be like that for a while. And it also like what happens is with these young players, they don't let the game come to them, where they are able to produce efficiently. In college, the game it's forced for you to the game to come to you. You have to
Well,
find your way.
one more thing too, far forgive me more. If you heard the interview where they interviewed Matt Barnes, he was talking to Gilbert Arenas, and he was trying to get Elijah Arenas to come to play with his twins. And Gilbert was saying, with the style of play being different, if I come there, I just want my son to kind of be showcased. So that's why he didn't have them go to the same high school. So I guess to
Right.
that same point, sometimes when you're at certain schools and it's a plethora of talent, then you really can't stand apart. Sometimes you might want to be at a smaller school or at least a smaller school where you get more notoriety because the end goal is to make it to the NBA.
Yeah, and I think also I think these players have to consider who they're going, who are their classmates when they come in. I think that hurt Cam Reddish. Cam Red,
Yeah.
if you look back at that class, Cam Reddish was that guy. Like Zion was
Yeah,
Zion, of course, but
right.
Cam Reddish was like not far behind him.
Yeah.
And I think going to Duke with that class, forcing to try to play team ball, it stunted him. He never kind of grew. Like I was seeing these
Good point.
highlights of like Anthony Edwards saying Cam Reddish dropped 44 points on him in high school. So it's like
Yeah.
Cam Reddish was that guy, but now he can't stick in the league.
Yeah.
He can't find a home. He's been in many places, but everyone who knew him, they're like he was that guy, but he couldn't stick. And I part of me feels that him going to Duke with Zion and who else was it? It was I forgot that was one of the best
RJ
like
Barrett.
yeah, but it was one of the best recruiting classes ever, and I just
Wow.
think that hurt him.
That's a good point. Good point.
And on top of that, too, like I knew it was downhill because he got drafted to the Hawks.
Yep.
And then when he went to the Lakers, I knew it was over with. Like if Bron can't sees you and you can't make your shot, it's automatic. Like you're out of the league after that. Like I don't know what it was about the Lakers during that time frame. If you're going to the Lakers, your career is over.
He wasn't healthy either. He missed a lot of games with LA.
Yeah. All right. So a J Money special topic. Steph has been great with those Warriors. They've been average. Yeah, very mid, very mid. But
Both
look,
of you are haters.
listen, last week Steph went 2-0 against the Alien, 40 balls. Had just a great week. Like it was the week of Steph. He's a sneaker free agent, so he came for that game wearing the Kobe Sixers Mambasita. So he was, so it was really like that was the week of Steph, and he did not disappoint. He showed exactly why he is one of the greatest to ever do this, even at his
Ever.
age. And like I think I posted on Instagram the day that Wemby gets his hands on that shot is going in the rafters because it's going to be years of frustration of Steph shooting over him, and that shot is going into the upper deck. So whenever that happens, I'm telling you, that's going to be in the upper deck. That's going to be somebody's ball. So what did y'all see from Steph this week that y'all loved or didn't like?
Let's go, Jay. You got it. You up first. It's your guy.
All right. Let's do this. Okay. First of all, the year that Wemby gets a chance to hit that shot in the rafters is the year where Steph says, I'm retiring and I don't care anymore. So it's not going to happen anytime soon. But I loved what I saw from Steph. I think also he is now in league with MJ for the amount of 40-point games at his posts when they are, I think, in 30s.
Probably,
I
yeah.
think so the fact that I saw Steph being aggressive, I loved it. I don't know what it is when they went like maybe there's a kill switch when he sees the Spurs because every time he plays them, he just lights them up and he says, "I'm the top cowboy in this town." So I liked his aggressiveness. He was very efficient. His shot selection was great. Um, his play when it came down to clutch, it made a point as to why he's probably one of the most clutch players in the league. And when Max Kellerman said, "Hey, on the Warriors, who do you want to make that clutch shot?" and he said, "Iguodala." Nah, boy, give me Steph Curry, especially when he's hot.
That was a
If
terrible take.
it was a terrible take. It's a punchline these days, but Curry showed why he's why he's one of the best point guards in the history of the NBA. And honestly, I'd probably take him over Magic Johnson.
Ooh,
Okay.
love it, love
Okay.
it, love it,
I'm not.
love
Go
it,
ahead.
love
All right. Cam,
Hey.
Cam, get your you go, and then we're gonna have to have
it.
a conversation about this because that's
Steph, that's my guy from Akron, Ohio. That's my guy, Wardell, right? And I think he's showing that he's just so timeless. Steph Curry's game, man, is just since Davidson, he has a handle. To your point, he is clutch. He's automatic from the free throw line. He's a good teammate. He's so many great things, man. And Steph is just sensational. There's really nothing you can really say. I'm intrigued to see when he does slow down or show he's lost a step. How are we gonna see it? You know what I mean? Because right now the handle is still lightning quick and the shot selection is still just lights out. Now to go back to what you said, Jay Money, choosing Iguodala over Steph to shoot the big shot, I agree with that. And you know why I agree with that? Because go look to see how many game winners Steph Curry has. It's not is less than what you would think. And Iguodala has been that guy since the 76 or so. I'm with you on that. And as you lead to about the Magic Johnson take, I agree with you again, Jay Money. You got to be more.
all right.
Yes.
First, all right, man. I don't even know where to begin because y'all, y'all got a bad bag of drugs. Okay, so first, I understand why you would. I understand the point of where you say you would want Iguodala taking that last shot.
hmm
But let's be real. When you're in a clutch situation, you want the best player to take the best shot. Listen, I don't care if that player is 0 for 15. You want to trust the best player. Jordan can be 4 for 30. He's going to take the shot. LeBron's different. LeBron is a pass first player. But these players, they're stars for a reason. You want the best player to take the best shot, to take a good shot. And look, not saying that Iguodala can't make the shot because he's shown that he's clutch, but there is no way in hell I'm taking the ball out of Wardell's hand in the clutch time. Secondly, look, man, this Magic Johnson slander has got to stop.
It's
Okay?
not slander though.
At
Okay.
all. At all.
Magic Johnson has what, 5 MVPs? I think the man has like 4 rings. No. Listen, Steph is great. And he will pretty much always, unfortunately, be the second best point guard. There's no harm in that. He is not Magic Johnson. Can he jump center like Magic did? No, he cannot. Did he win a ring at 19 like Magic did? No, he did not. Is he going to finish as the all-time leader in assists like Magic did? No, he did not. That's Stockton updating his record. No, look, man. Magic and Steph both have this thing where they both change the game, right? Steph with a 3-point line, Magic with how you look at point guards, because no one has saw a 6'9" point guard before that. And so you considered it, even though they didn't make another Magic Johnson for years. I think the next really big point guard that maybe that was good, like Steve Smith, maybe, and he was decent. But no, man, there's Steph, and then there's Magic. Magic is just different. I don't want to listen. We can go award for award. Magic comes out on top. There is nothing that you can spin that would say that Steph is better than Magic.
J Money, let me get him. J Money, just
Go
lay
for
back
it.
for a second. Be more, let's break down what you said.
Okay.
Yeah. So Magic Johnson definitely did the jump ball. I don't know if you watched that game, but show me a clip of him defending the center of the opposing team on that 76ers team. He didn't defend them at all. Magic had a sizable advantage, and he posted the opposing point guard all game. So it's not like he's accredited with playing 1 through 5, but that game that he got the notoriety, show me a clip of him defending the center. He didn't do that. All he did was jump ball, and then his legend grew. That's one thing. Second thing, you talk about Magic, he definitely changed the game in terms of the timing of it. The NBA was kind of fading. He and Bird led the resurgence to bring it back. I get it, but Steph Curry is undoubtedly such an impact on today's game, and we don't know that it'll ever change. He's birthed so many players who wants to be his prototype, from Trae Young to just the list is endless of guys taking on his style of play. And I respect Magic, but he does not put the pressure on the defense the way Steph Curry does. The only attribute that he has better than Steph Curry is passing. Outside of that, and I guess you can maybe say rebounding because he is bigger, but outside of that, there's no other facet of playing the point guard position that Magic Johnson is better than Steph Curry. You got it, Jay.
I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Bro. He's a better passer. He's a better rebounder. He's a better defender. Yes, Steph is a better shooter. Magic is a winner. When Magic has the ball, everybody is a weapon. When Magic had the ball, everybody. He's that guy that got everybody paid. Everybody was a weapon. Now with Steph, not saying that Steph doesn't make his teammates better. I'm not saying that, but not to the level that Magic did. And that's what I'm saying. And you think that point guards in the 80s and 90s didn't want to be like Magic? All of them wanted to be like Magic. All of them talked about Magic. From your Allen Iverson, your Marburys, your Kevin Johnsons. Any point guard wanted to be like Magic. They wanted the $1 million smile. They wanted the style. Magic brought, honestly, Rucker type basketball with the flashy. that was that he brought that to the league. He brought that ABA style to the league.
He did.
So that paved the way for the point guards who we love, who we in our generation we grew up with, because that was Rucker type basketball into the NBA. So his influence, he has just as much, if not more influence than Steph Curry.
Mm.
All right, go ahead.
As a hybrid baby.
Oh, real quick. No, go ahead. You go.
As a hybrid baby, I'm gonna say Steph Curry is going to have a longer effect on the game of basketball more than Magic Johnson. Yes, Magic Johnson was the guy that brought the charisma, he brought the flair, he brought everything. He's a dimer. Like, he will always go down as one of the greatest point guards in the game. There's no disrespect for that. He has 5 rings. Steph has 4. Also, I will give accolades to Magic Johnson too. He got 5 rings in 13 seasons. Steph has 4 rings in 17 seasons. So there's a level of efficiency difference there too.
3-time MVP too.
3-time MVP. But was he a unanimous MVP? Steph Curry was, though. Now, the other fact of that too, everybody wants to play like Steph. Nobody wanted to shoot the ball like that until Steph came into the league. LeBron, when have you ever seen LeBron start shooting so many threes in his career before Steph came into the league? He just walked. Now he wants to. Nobody started to pull it up from half court besides outside of Steph. Now everybody wants to start doing it. Trae Young, as you said, Trae Young wants to start doing it. LeBron started doing it. Everybody starts to call LeBron's threes lay FU threes. Okay. So nobody wanted to start shooting it until Steph started playing in the league. The Celtics mimicked their game off of the Warriors because of who? Steph Curry. And yes, you may hate him. Klay Thompson. Everybody wanted to be, not wanted, wants to be like the Warriors. The Thunder play like the Warriors at time. If the mid-range ain't falling, where are they going? To the 3-ball. Nobody wants to play in the paint anymore because of who? Steph Curry. Kyrie Irving gives accolades to Steph Curry. We got to put more respect on that man, Wardell Stephen Curry, because he is a Hall of Famer. He became a Hall of Famer in the league by year 6. That is the most memorable series. Come on, man. I'll do this all day.
Jay Money, to your point about influence, there's a reason why Draymond Green has more 3-pointers than Michael Jordan. There's a reason for that. And that, to your point, it's the Curry effect. Just shooting the ball, the freedom, like, hey, I can shoot this shot. He makes it. Why can't I? We hear so many commentators saying a shot from the logo, shot from the logo. This is all Steph Curry's influence, and we know that. But go back to your point, B. More. You know, Magic Johnson was drafted to a loaded team. You tell me what rookie point guard inherits Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So when you give him notoriety, but also think what players were in place for him to get there. Your situation is everything. And I feel like Steph Curry's situation was not that. You know, Mark Jackson was in place. Klay Thompson came around that time, and they were building. You had veterans, and then the head coach was gone. So for Magic to step into an already made team that lost Norm Nixon, you got Pat Riley, you got a championship coach, and Pat Riley. Magic inherited a great situation. So I don't want to undervalue, but don't overvalue as well.
But remember, they couldn't win. That team had talent, but they couldn't win. Before him, they could not.
Sure.
They could not get over the bump. That's the reason why Pat Riley took over that team, and then but it was Pat Riley's predecessor who started the offense of the Showtime Lakers, pushing the pace. Remember, teams wanted to play like the Lakers also because they pushed the pace. They were fast breaks all the time, but they played good defense because they had a good anchor back there.
He orchestrated.
Remember, Kareem was really on the second half. He was kind of he was at the end of his prime coming over to the Lakers. Because I'm not saying he was over the hill, but his best years were in Milwaukee.
Sure, but he averaged 20 plus with the Lakers.
Right. He had good years, but his best time was behind him. And not saying that it was just like me saying what LeBron's best years were in Miami and Cleveland, not in the Lakers. He's still good. Same thing with Kareem. He was still good. As the Lakers added pieces, of course, they kept winning. But teams wanted to play like the Lakers. They wanted to play fast. They wanted to play up tempo. And that's, to your point, that helped get viewership. That's the reason why the league is alive today. So you can say his influence might last longer, but without Magic and, of course, Bird and that rivalry, there would be no league for him to extend his legacy into. He's building off the foundation that Magic set. And that's why I can't put someone who's the foundation of how we play the game, somebody above him.
Hip hop may have started in New York, but that's not the sound right now. I get it. I understand something.
But a New York MC is highly regarded as the best of all time.
I hear that. However, you can't stretch and just pull different things to strengthen your argument. You can't do that. We're talking about who's the better player. If there's an attribute chart and you're talking scoring, it's Steph Curry. Shooting is Steph Curry. Passing is Magic Johnson. Rebounding, sure, he's a bigger guard. But the one thing you said was defense. Come on, if you go YouTube, Magic Johnson being a defender, you're not going to see a lot of highlights. He was not known for his defense in any regard. Was he capable? Sure. But was he a good defender? No way for you to say he's that much better with defense than Steph Curry. No way.
He was a good defender. He even led the league in steals a season. I'm just saying he was
a lot of point guards get steals in the passing lane. Did he make a defensive team, all first team? He didn't.
No.
He's an okay defender. Okay.
Right, he was okay. So how many finals MVPs Steph got?
I mean, hey.
He got one to Magic's 3. He got one to Magic's 3. Magic led the league in steals for 2 seasons. Steph led the league in steals in 1. Now, with the Legends comment though, we can acknowledge that we are standing on the shoulders of giants in every aspect, especially in every position. We would not be here for Bill Russell, really. Like, if we want to take it back there, like, Bill Russell will be the greatest player of all time because he's got more rings than I probably have hands and toes. But and then we're not going to have that conversation of, is MJ better than Bill Russell? Like, are we going to start doing that now? But my thing is too, we like Magic. Yes, Magic is a great point guard, but we are not going to, as Kev already said, we're not going to downplay Steph Curry. His impact, it will have a longer impact on the league than Magic Johnson. And the thing about Curry's career too, he took a very low marketing brand and took it to high levels. Like, he signed with Under Armour of all brands.
Okay.
And became their moneymaker. And he got rich off of them too. He signed $1 billion contract with them.
Equity within the company. Magic fumbled the Nike deal. And that's another reason why sometimes players of the past, their legends don't ring, is that they don't have a signature shoe. You know, that's real. That's an imperative move, having a signature shoe.
But okay, so this is where we have to kind of have some nuance, because there's an eras thing, right? So when Steph came along, a signature shoe is something normal, right? When Magic came along, that was, I mean, you're right. He did fumble the Nike thing, and he had the Converse weapon, but that wasn't really a signature shoe per se. He advertised it, but that wasn't like his shoe. But this is where the eras thing, and this is where I don't want to compare that part because it's different. That wasn't the norm. When Steph came in, Steph being that great, having a signature shoe, or at least have a big shoe deal, that was happening. That was happening. All right, so we're not gonna beat this point down. We spent some time, but what I do want to talk about is, hey man, are the Knicks good? Because like, they just went. So they've only played. This is their 4th road game of the season. I don't know what the league is doing and how that happened, but tonight was their 4th road game. They lost to the Heat, 115 to 113. They have 5 losses on the season. 4 of them are on the road. They can't win on the road for some reason.
But they're 8-5 though.
But they can't win on the road.
I mean, is that really anything new though? Let's think about it. Is it really anything new? Last year they barely won against the Pistons last year on an away game. They won on their home court on that series. So are we only, let's take a step back here, fellas. Let's take a giant step back. Are we really surprised by any of this? And are we only magnifying this because Mike Brown's the head coach and just a whole bunch of haters about it? Like, I mean, let's say like Mike Brown has the same mediocre record that he did with Tom Thibodeau. Are we gonna beat it to death because Mike Brown's at the helm? Like, I mean, they're winning. You know, we just don't like the way they're winning. Let's just be real. We don't like the fact we don't really like Karl Anthony Towns. He's a crybaby. He's a weak 4. Like, I get it. So how they're playing right now is not a surprise to me. What will surprise me and what I'm really looking forward from the Knicks team is how they'll perform come playoffs. That's their Achilles heel every year. They go to the second round and then they fall on their face. They barely, like, they didn't even really beat the Pacers. They lucked out on a lot of those games. And then they struggled against the Celtics, who lost Jason Tatum. So the playoffs is their Achilles heel. That's how I feel about this team.
I think, the Knicks, they're an interesting bunch, and now I think Brunson I know he's not out, but he was nicked up with the knee, I believe. Yep. So, I think they're an okay team. I think they are who they are. 8-5 is 8-5. Mike Brown is definitely not my guy, J Money, and it'll show. They'll continually be up and down, erratic all year because they're just not, I think, assembled the way they need to be assembled. I think they just have a stockpile of talent. They're not even playing Malcolm Brogdon. They barely play The guard Clarkson. So I just
Mhm.
think they're just kind of all over the place in terms of pieces, and you just need to spread it out or stretch it out. But I don't think this Nick team is gonna. I think they're gonna fumble the opportunity right now in the East because with Boston not having Jason Tatum, this is your window to do it. Your stiffest competition may be Cleveland, and I feel like you should probably like your odds in the 7-game series. But right now, I just don't think the Knicks will be it.
Yeah, Cat went 7 for 19 tonight. I mean, he did finish with 22 points, but that is a rough 22. He had 22 and 15.
Yeah.
But it's early, and for some reason the schedule makers only have them with 4 away games. But I think as a early in the season, that's how you kind of see how good of a team you are if you can go on the road if your game travels.
Mhm.
Miami is an average team,
Mhm.
and Miami won like in the last 20 seconds of the game, so they can't beat an average team. And I don't. It doesn't look like
And
Jalen
Tyler
Brunson
Hero
played.
didn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brunson didn't play either, looks like.
Mm,
But still, it's just I don't know. I agree with Kev. I actually agree with both of y'all. Like this team is kind of who we thought they were, but
mhm.
I was hoping that they would because of the opportunity that they have this season, that this could be the year, and that they would kind of like, okay, them in Cleveland, like, okay, we're gonna exert our dominance,
Mhm.
and this Knicks team mess around, and teams like the Hawks who've been playing
With
good as of
Detroit.
late are
Mhm.
Mhm.
gonna these other teams who have been playing good, they might pass them up and they might blow their chance. Again, we're only 1 month in, but I don't know. I don't like how the season is beginning for them.
Yeah. Got my eye on them.
Me too. I feel like a month is enough to kind of start determining a team's identity. I think
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing. Like right now, the Knicks team identity is you're struck. It's nothing changes. I think that's my problem with them. Like I like a team that hey, last year we learned our lesson. Now this year, oh, we're the grit and grind team. Like
Yeah.
with Tom Thibodeau, they had an identity of
Good.
Thibodeau loves to run their players into the ground, but they balled out, right? Like they
Yeah.
were winning consistently. Now with a new coach that brings a different type of identity, we don't know what they're like. They have a
Don't.
team. I can't remember what other team we were talking about earlier this year. I think it was the Rockets, where they were saying, "Hey, they look good on paper." The names, oh, the Sixers. They look good on paper. I like what we're seeing here now. When you put them in play, what do we got?
Mhm.
And so that's my qualms with New York right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we're gonna move on to our last topic. It's called the Scary Hours lineup. This lineup is where these are you take your best five. Each you get a draft, the best five. You get 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a centers of current NBA players. Health doesn't matter. So if they're hurt, it doesn't matter. So you're thinking of the current NBA players at their best, but at relative to their age. Okay, this isn't prime
Mhm.
LeBron, Kev. This isn't prime LeBron. All right. So just have to put some guidelines
Mhm.
because I know y'all too.
I'm
So
ready.
all right, Kev, your first pick.
Coming in 3-3-0. Steph Curry, point guard.
All right, all right, Josh, who you got for your scary hours lineup? Your first pick.
SGA.
Woo.
Ooh.
Point guard match is going to be pretty interesting. All right, Kev, you're up.
At the 2, I have Ant-Man. Ant-Man.
Woo. J Money, if you say Klay Thompson, we're going to end the podcast immediately. All right, who's your shooting guard, J Money?
All right. I got Devin Booker.
Okay,
Mm. At the 3, I'm
all right.
going Durantula, KD.
Interesting, because you are not a KD
I
believer.
know, I know. But we share the same birthday, so he's still okay with me.
All right. J Money, who you got?
Klay Thompson. Not just playing. At the 3, I'm gonna go Kawhi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a
I,
good one. That is a good
Back
one.
We're going back to the 3-3-0. LeBron James. I'm gonna ask less of him at the 4. Less of him at the 4.
All right. Power forward, J Money.
Giannis, the
Woo!
Greek freak.
Ooh, love it. Love the pick.
Woo!
Love the pick. And
All
bringing
right,
it
last.
home. He's gonna have his brothers all at every game joking.
Hey,
Joking.
Sinner. You got the Joker. Hmm. All right. And these players are healthy.
Yes.
Yes, they're healthy.
Okay. I'm going to go with Anthony Davis at the 5.
Okay.
Ooh. I thought he was gonna say Joel.
Me
Oh, okay.
too. Me too.
You know,
Ah.
Joel.
So here's what makes these lineups interesting because LeBron does not like playing the 4, and Anthony Davis hates playing the 5. So
That's
y'all
funny.
have these players who don't want to play these positions, but yeah, these both of these lineups are deep. Like I'm gonna have to
Can I say why my team beats his team?
sure tell me, break it down.
You know, Steph Curry on SGAs may have 50 points. He can't defend him. I'm not implying that. Now certainly SGA, can't go under the pick. It's gonna be tough to defend Steph. However, the 2 guard position, I feel like Ant-Man can slow down Devin Booker. He can defend him and give him work on both ends of the court. Because he's definitely a capable defender and he gets up for his defense, and I really respect that about his game. At
Sure.
the 3, KD is going to still get every shot that he wants. I know Kawhi is Kawhi, and I respect it, but he can't slow down Durantula. I think KD can even post him at times if I need to. And at the 4, LeBron James. Your 4 was who was his 4?
Giannis.
Giannis. Oh, I take that back. I take that back. Greek.
Yeah, I was
You
like,
know,
you're not.
Greek.
Nobody can
Greek.
stop him.
Greek is gonna get his numbers. He's gonna get his numbers. I just hope that LeBron has his moments and spots. But lastly, go back to when AD tries to defend Jokic barbecue chicken. He can't defend him, and that's why the Lakers struggle mightily. They struggle so bad, be more. They start putting Rue on him.
Yeah.
So that's a bad matchup for AD, and that's why we beat his team.
All right, J Money. What's your rebuttal?
So at the 5, maybe. I won't say at the 5 that AD will stop him completely. Joker is more likely still going to get his triple double. But Davis, don't forget, he is a multiple defensive player of the year candidate. He's never won a DPOY yet, but I know he gives these players a run for their money. He may not have liked the 5, but he dominated at the 5. And prime factor is I'll bring it up to the day I die. The bubble series, the bubble playoffs. He showed up and showed out and played the 5, and he gave everybody the work. The reason he gives Joker a run for his money, though, is because Joker also cannot defend a player like Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is going to give him a good 30 piece, and he's going to get a double-double regardless. The 4, I don't even need to speak on it. I don't even want to. LeBron, Giannis is like night and day. The 3, Kawhi is pretty much a lot of players' kryptonite. He is a multiple-time defensive player of the year winner for a reason. They call him the Claw for a reason. Kevin Durant will still get his 20-30 ball, but he's going to work. It's going to be an inefficient 20-30 ball. It's going to be a cold one because he'll go 7 for 30. We've seen KD go 7 for 35 and still drop 30 ball. Kawhi is my guy for defense. He's the backbone of the defense. He's also an efficient mid-range shooter. He doesn't shoot dumb shots. He's also my clutch shooter too. I have 2 clutch players, really 4 clutch players on my team. SGA, Kawhi, Giannis, because look, we're going to pretend Giannis ain't a clutch player.
Okay, go on.
All right.
Tell
my
me
man.
more.
Yeah.
And Devin Booker.
Mm.
Devin Booker is you. Anthony Edwards will give him a problem on defense, but Devin Booker is so good at finding his shot no matter what position you put him in. His defense has also gotten a lot better too since the Olympics. And he's given his improvement on defense towards Steve Kerr because all he asked of him was, I just need you to defend. You let the other guy shoot the ball. And he came up clutch in the Olympics as well because of his defense too. SGA, free throw machine, foul baiter machine, whatever. OKC in 5. Listen, SGA has proven time and time again he is a MVP and Finals MVP for a reason. He got a ring with this team for a reason. He's a tough player.
Yes.
He's going to give you work. Him and Kawhi on the same team would be a dangerous duo, honestly, because they both love the mid-range. I'm not going to trust SGA with the 3-ball. I'll leave that to Devin Booker. But SGA has also come up clutch in the finals last year, and we saw his performance. He loves to dish it out, and he can also play defense as well. His 6'6", 195 frame gives him a foot ahead, a small step ahead of Steph. But when it comes to clutch time and Steph hits that shot, I'm going to give it back to Kawhi, not SGA, though.
So when I'm looking at these lineups, the most interesting matchup is the shooting guard. I think Devin Booker and Anthony Edwards is the most interesting, where I can't call it because I think if you look at it quickly, like, okay, Anthony Edwards should be able to take that matchup, but I think that's underselling Devin Booker, and I think I think because of what we've seen in Devin Booker's career, where he's never really been on a championship or a team that we thought could really win. We kind of undervalue how good he is. We know he's a bucket, right? But he's legitimately a really good, possibly, depending on how you look at it, top 10, top 12 player. Yeah. He could Devin Booker is up there. And I think we kind of undervalue how good he is. I think the Giannis LeBron matchup is just Giannis that's just a bad matchup for Bron. That's just a terrible matchup for Bron.
Oh, no way.
I
terrible? No way. And Giannis is playing inspired ball right now, and I'm with you on that.
I just think Giannis is just so physical with LeBron, and LeBron at this age. I think that's the thing. LeBron at this age, with Giannis being that physical, I think that's where I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting for 2 quarters, and I just think Giannis just wearing on him third quarter, fourth quarter. I think that's where it gets scary for your team, because
LeBron had sciatica. What do you expect? After the first half, he's like, "Oh God!"
Hold on, speaking of LeBron, before you wrap up here, LeBron said they asked him. They said, "So when are you going to be in?" He's like, "When are you going to be back?" He's like, "Well, maybe Thursday, Friday, Sunday, or maybe next Tuesday." Man, just say you don't know. just say you don't know yet. I'm like what kind of and he just said that shit with a straight face, Thursday, Friday, Tuesday.
Whenever I feel like it, really.
Take your time, go.
I mean, they are not. They don't need to rush him back. I mean, I know they just called. It's funny. They're like, LeBron was sent down to the G League for
right.
Some dude, finishing his shift at Kroger walks into the gym like, LeBron
today. Right. What does surprise me though, out of our picks, there's a lot of great players in the league, obviously, but none of us picked Luka though. That was the only thing.
Oh,
that is interesting. Yeah.
He didn't cross my mind.
He crossed my mind, but when you pick Steph, right? I want someone that's gonna trail him and give him some work. Luka's getting cooked on that when he's on defense, though. That's the only thing. If you pick someone like Cade Cunningham, then I'd go like, oh, I'm getting Luka right out the gate. Like that's my only thing. Luka,
I
Go ahead.
almost said, because you said health didn't matter. I was gonna say Kyrie initially, but then I just focused on team, and I feel like Steph Curry just helps the overall team. He's gonna help
Yep.
with spacing, and it's gonna be a nightmare. So I drafted from that lens.
No, I mean that makes sense. Like, and honestly, Cade would not have been a bad pick because Cade
Yeah,
plays good defense. Cade
yeah,
can score and he can pass. He can run the offense. Which
Mhm.
yeah.
it's crazy how good Cade is. That he's like 10th in the league in scoring and second in
Mm-hmm.
the league in assists, which is something that we just don't normally see.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, good
Yeah.
lineup, fellas. Good lineup, fellas. All right. So final thoughts, J Money. I'm gonna let you cook.
Ooh. All right. Okay, so I just want to give like a little appreciation to the black and the minority coaches in the league, and not just the NBA, but the NFL, the soccer, baseball. I feel like we don't really talk about them too much. If it wasn't for them, like a lot of black athletes wouldn't be here. And also it's also a shame too that minority coaches don't get a lot of leeway when it comes to bad teams. Like, I'm going to talk about, like, for example, Willie Green. Willie Green got fired because, for whatever reason, but his team wasn't healthy. So he didn't really have a full, successful, healthy team yet to
Yeah.
start winning. And
Yeah.
that isn't fair. If there was somebody like they give, and the thing is, like, coaches like Tom Thibodeau, they gave him 5 years and a lot of it, and he had terrible like teams that just would tank, and they still gave him a chance. But the same is not said for a lot of these black coaches or minority coaches in the league and in the NFL. Brian Flores is a prime example of that too. He coached Miami, who was a crap team, called to a garbage quarterback, which he is. Don't get me wrong. He's a garbage quarterback next to Geno Smith. It was also buns. But the fact of that is, like, the expectations are not the same. And that is affecting our ability as people of color to succeed in a lot of these big jobs, and it's not fair, and it's very frustrating, and that definitely needs to be something that needs to be talked about and changed, revamped. And I think because of where we're at right now, who we have in office, won't get too political, is affecting the ability of these great minority coaches to be super successful and have long tenured jobs.
Word, word. All right, Kev,
Love
you
it,
got
Jay.
it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Jay Money. This NBA has been something, right? We love Wimby, but can he stay healthy? I don't know. We look at the bigs of the past, from Sean Bradley to Yao. These massive guys. They're so talented, man. But it's just the injuries are adding up. And I know he dealt with blood clots, but now this is something different. And it's just kind of like I'm just hoping that Wimby can stay healthy so we can really see him bloom into what we envision him to be. Also, the return of LeBron James. This Laker team is competing. And let's see. I'm hoping the GOAT helps the lineup and they just kind of they take off. But we'll see. And then the return of Kyrie Irving, or the trade of Kyrie Irving. There's just so many different things going on with the league. I'm just kind of on fire about it. I want to see some things happen. I want to see it turn into fantasy basketball. I want to see another blockbuster trade. Imagine, where were you at, B More, when you saw Luca and AD traded for each other? It was such a monumental moment. It's like, wow, we couldn't believe it. I believe that something like that is going to happen again, but what will happen, we'll see. And then, to your point, Jay Money, you didn't have to hit Gino with a stray, but it's okay. Gino, oh my God, Gino, I want Gino to improve. It's just, I don't think that's it. I appreciate Pete Carroll giving him another shot, but I don't think Gino is the answer. So it's tough, but I just think between basketball, football, we're going to be into some exciting games, as the year continues.
No doubt. I'll I'll close this out with this. I'm tired of these punk ass fans, man.
Hey,
Look, these NBA, NFL players, sports athletes are not responsible for your betting and gambling addiction. I
Facts.
saw this clip of this man stopping Jimmy Butler, mad at him because he blew his parlay. Jimmy Butler's 6'8", bro. Jimmy Butler should have snatched him out of his car and like stop talking to me, little man. And these fans are so weird. The fan who was heckling Draymond. Granted, the guy was funny. He kept calling him Angel Reese because Draymond kept getting his own rebound. I found that hilarious. But you know, you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. If you want to heckle, cool, but you got to stop at a certain point. And he kept calling him Angel Reese, and that's why it went overboard. But
Right.
these fans running up on these professional athletes, mad at them for ruining their parlays. It's called gambling for a reason. It's a risk. That's the whole point. And you are addicted to it so much so that you are going to run up to on an athlete, a stranger. And if this person was to feel threatened and hit you because you're running up on him aggressively, then you want to cry foul and sue him.
Yep.
And this is why I was excited that gambling became quote unquote legal kind of. They got these legal sports books and the league seem to be on board. But this is what we're seeing now. Before it was you just dealt with the bookie and these people who would bet at the time, they would never do that because they want to keep it in secret. They would never be so embarrassed to do something so wild like that. But now, since everybody's doing it, it's like a regular thing.
Yep.
They feel so entitled to talk to these athletes this way, and it's so weird to me. It is so weird, and I want that to stop. Like I like the fact that leagues are getting money from these gambling places. I get it. They sponsor podcasts, they sponsor the league. I get it. But this is causing just bad behavior from fans, and we've seen it cause bad behavior from the athletes. So that's what I just need to stop, man. These punk fans they gotta chill.
Gotcha.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Real quick. Do you think it's time for the NBA to start considering putting up barriers from the fans and court players to reduce the amount of the player to interaction? Because if we look at these other sports, including tennis and including baseball, there's a barrier there. There's not a lot of player to fan interaction as much as the NBA, and I get it. People pay for court seats and stuff like that. But I think it's time to start considering some type of boundary, or maybe a little ditch, maybe a little lip. Somebody step wrong, you fall, and if you step incorrectly, that's your fault.
So maybe I think the reason why this kind of social contract worked before is because most people who sat there, they were rich, they had a lot to lose, and they knew how to act, right? Now we have a lot of new money coming in who don't know how to act. So they're able to get these seats because either they know somebody or they did something, or they just got a bunch of money where they're able to spend it this way. So you're seeing this new rich feeling, and they feel way entitled. And I think they've kind of broken the social contract. So they're like, look, you get courtside seats. I'm established enough. I've made it enough. I can afford this. I want to know I've been here before. But now that's changed. So to answer your question, yeah, because these new fans don't know how to act.
I like the thought, J Money, but the optics is ugly. You can't have
It's ugly.
a gate around the court. I think the I think the other thing you may do is just stiffen the consequences. If you have a chance at being a lifetime ban, or I think maybe one may think twice before they act out. But I just think visually it's bad optics to have a fence around that, and then you may have an athlete running for a loose ball. They may hit the gate trying to hop over it or whatever.
Yeah.
I just don't like it because it's more risk than reward. But I
Then
think
you got hockey.
maybe right. Maybe stiffen the consequences if you overstep, and maybe that might be a deterrent. But we'll see.
Yeah, and then the reason I asked is because players like Draymond, and then you also got the Westbrooks of the league as well. You got your Isaiah Stewarts, and then back then you had Andrew Bynum and all these other guys that ran into the stands and fought people. But I think it's time, because there has to be mutual accountability between both players too. Like you can't just go, you can't be like a Draymond, just go up to the fan and be like, say it to my face. What you say? There has to be mutual accountability and a mutual consequence. And I honestly, like what B Moore said real quick, and I'll end it up. If I'm new money, I don't care about the consequences. Like it has to be something to where, okay, you ban me for a couple games, and then eventually the NBA gives it back to that person.
Right.
There has to be a financial consequence, right?
Yeah,
like
I get that.
pay a $5,000 fine or something like that.
Make it hefty, yeah.
All right. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. Another podcast down. Next week we'll be up for our 35th episode, guys. Crazy.
Wow.
All right. So this is B More. That's Kev. Kev from Ohio and J Money. And yo, we out. Peace. Thank you for tuning in.